What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Taylor. I have this Kiesel Kyber? It's like cyber, but stylized with a K. So, you know, Kyber. I have this Kiesel Kyber guitar, and it's a really awesome guitar. Like, if you just came here to know if this guitar is good or not, it's good. You know, end of video. But let's go through this video and see if I can relay why this is good to you. It has been a while since I checked out, like quite a few years, since I've checked out a Kiesel guitar. Kiesel did ask me if I would demo this guitar. This video is sponsored by Kiesel in that regard. And with that being said, there's a few other things that I need to disclose. They did ask me how I wanted this guitar set up and like what tuning I wanted it set up in. And I was just like, you know, throw C standard is what I play and throw some strings on it. And it is set up immaculately. This is one of the most comfortable guitars I've ever played in my life. Hands down, it is just an incredibly comfy guitar. With that being said, I do want to take it through a setup process for two reasons. Number one, think about it like speed dating. It's like setting up a guitar is kind of like speed dating for your guitar. You know, you get to know it really quickly. This is weird. Why does anyone watch this channel? And then the other reason is when I said I like really low action, they really took that to heart. Like, this is the lowest action I've ever had on a guitar. And as a result of that, it's kind of killing the sustain a little bit. Anytime you want to set your action really, really low on a guitar, you know, it's kind of a compromise in between, you know, sustain and note definition versus how low you can actually get those strings. So look at this guitar, man. It is just a gorgeous, gorgeous guitar. Speaking of that, let's get to the specs. This is the Kiesel Kyber. Now, Kiesel is a custom shop, so these specifications are specific to this guitar, but I digress. With that being said, this model that I have here features a Limba body with a 5-piece maple and Limba striped neck, an ebony fretboard with a 14-inch radius, stainless steel jumbo frets. It comes equipped with the Kiesel Illusionist pickup in the bridge and a beryllium pickup in the neck position. Those pickups can be controlled via the 3-way toggle switch and volume knob, which also has a push-pull feature. This guitar also came with one of the most pattiest, high-quality gig bags I've ever seen, so take that into consideration as well. Now, with all Kiesel models, but the Kyber model specifically, it is designed for ergonomics. It has Kiesel's most extreme arm bend for maximum comfort, and this unique shape is really catered to playing in a standard position or even a classical position. The lower horn has an extreme cutaway for access to the upper frets, and it also has a sculpted neck heel to enhance that access as well. These are available in 6 or 7 strings, fixed or tremolo, standard or multi-scale configurations. And for a limited time, the introductory base price is $15.99. So that's what we're working with here in this video. Now, normally, I just like to do this first impressions sort of plug-in, so that way I can get a feel for things and kind of know things that I might want to address in the setup. However, I don't need to address anything with the setup of this guitar. It's set up immaculately. My first impressions with this guitar were actually very, very impressed. So from Kiesel reached out to me and asked me if he could send me a guitar, but he's like, I don't want to tell you what it is. I just want you to be surprised when you open it. So that's what we're doing here. So I have no idea what this, I don't know if this is like a new model. I don't know if, I don't know. Oh, it comes in a gig bag. That's cool. I've never received a letter from a company that wanted me on a launch. Like, this is kind of, it made me feel a little special, I guess. You know, unless Andrew Baina gets one at the same time. I'm just kidding. I love Andrew Baina. You know, it's nice when you spend $1,600 on a guitar and you get like a quality case, right? So even the zipper, it probably doesn't bind up. Like the little zipper things you hold on to are like ergonomic, like they're curved. Totally nerding out on this zipper right now, but let's see. We got some back. Whoa. Look, dude, they actually send you, I haven't even gotten to the guitar yet, but they send you like a multi-tool. Look, we have hex keys. We have screwdrivers in here. There is, like, I will actually use this. I'll probably use this in every video. You'll probably see this in every video from now on because it's such a convenient tool to have. It's got, you know, it's got like a little, what do you call this? Ruler. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. In millimeters or like inches if you love freedom. I'm just joking. I love you, UK guys. We should measure things in inches here. I don't know why. My country's weird. I can't tell you why we do the things we do. I don't know. Okay, let's look at the fucking guitar, right? I will reveal it to you guys first. Holy shit. Oh my God, dude. This is so nice. This is incredibly, like, this feels like nothing. You know what I mean? It's so light. I do want to hear this with a little bit more sustain and hear how the pickups respond to that sustain. Because like I said, right now, it's very like snappy sounding. Okay, we have the strings off. Let's talk about this Kiesel here a little bit. This guitar falls into a category I would describe as immaculate. I think that the build quality on this guitar is exceptional. And I've played a lot of different guitars from a lot of different manufacturers. However, with that being said, Kiesel does fall into the custom guitars category, so maybe that is just the expectation for a guitar like this, but I will just tell you, for a guitar in this price range, I would call it exceptional. Now, I know some of you in the comments are going to point out that this is a sponsored video, and they probably took extra time to set this guitar up for me and, you know, make it super special and yada, yada, yada. That may be true. I wouldn't know either way, but what I can tell you is that, you know, with Kiesel being a custom guitar shop, I think that this is probably par for the course. Oh, hey, just want to chime in here real quick. After I had shot this video, I actually looked through the gig bag. Should have done that prior, but they included this quality control checklist. So instead of just like having a QC sticker or whatever on the guitar, you can actually see everything that was checked off. I don't know. I thought that was kind of important here. Anyway, back to the video. I think they probably put this level of care into all of their guitars. The Kiesel that I checked out on the channel, you know, several years ago was just as nice as this. From what I remember, the build quality was just as good. Now, that guitar didn't arrive to me new. I was borrowing it from a friend, but, you know, take this for what it's worth. But his opinion on that guitar was the same as my opinion on this guitar when it showed up. He actually still has that guitar. I texted him earlier to see if he still had it, and, you know, he still has it in his collection. So to me personally, that says a lot, because I know he has high expectations for his guitars, and I really trust and, you know, value his opinion. This guitar doesn't really need a setup per se. There's not much. Like, I'm still gonna, you know, do my due diligence, clean the fretboard. The little bit of finger gunk that I've put on the fretboard since I've had it, might as well clean it off while we're here, right? But you know, everything on this guitar is just really nice. While we have the strings off though, let me get you some measurements. Okay, so as mentioned previously, this is a very comfy playing guitar. To me, what that means is it has a very thin neck profile, but I am very interested to see exactly how thin it is, because you know, I think that the profile shape has a little bit to do with it too. So, you know, let's see. Maybe I'm not surprised. Yeah, I am actually very surprised by that. So the neck at the first fret is 20, just a shade under 20.5 millimeters. And let's measure the 24th fret up here. Okay, so the neck thickness at the 24th fret is 22.38 millimeters. So this neck still falls into the thin category. However, I actually think it feels thinner in the hand. You know what? Let's measure it width-wise too. Okay, so the width up here at the first fret is just a little over 43.5 millimeters. And then down here at the 12th fret, we are at 52, like just a shade over 52 millimeters. This is actually making a lot of sense to me now. I think that the reason this neck feels thinner to me, because it is just a shade thinner width-wise than like my Jackson or something like that I played, which would come in a little over 44 millimeters, and this is like 43 and a half-ish. So a little bit thicker this way, a little bit thinner this way, but the neck profile also is a very like round C profile. So it's just extremely comfortable, and it just feels very natural in the hands. Okay, some stuff I want to note here about the setup. This was one of the easiest setups I've ever done in my life. You know, no surprise there. That's kind of what I expected. The only thing I did was raise the action really for each one of the strings. Now, when I do this, I use one of these Fritz rulers, and I just set it to electric guitar low. I find that's where I like my action. This was quite a bit lower than the electric guitar low setting on that. And the reason that I even bring that up is because it still played, like the guitar still sounded great with the action that low. So to me, that's incredibly impressive that the action was so low, yet it was still completely playable and totally fine in that situation. But anyways, let's go plug this in. I'm really excited to hear how this sounds now. Okay, this thing is set up now, pretty much exactly the same as it was before. I mean, it is still just so incredibly comfy to play. And one of the things that I noticed, but I really wanted to get a setup on it before I gave any opinions on this guitar has really, really good note separation. And I don't know, like the combination of woods or the pick, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I noticed from playing it. Like there's very, very good note, like everything punches through really well. If I play a big chord, you know, and turn my volume up because that's important. It's very, very pleasing to the ear. With that being said, let's go to a clean channel now that this is all set up, and I think that these notes have a little bit more sustain. So this is the bridge pickup. Here's the bridge pulled. Here's the middle position. Here's the middle position pulled. And the neck. And here's the neck position pulled. Pull, coil split, tap, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the pickups, obviously, with this push-pull as well, have a lot of versatility. Sound really good. Very chimey when it's pulled, but when they're pushed in, very like full sounding, you know? Let's go back to the chugga. You know what, let me tune up real quick because I don't think I played one of my stock riffs yet, so, you know. So much sustain. It sounds really good. The note separation. I have final thoughts now. Let's just get into the final thoughts. Yeah, this is a very high quality instrument. Now I know $1,600 base price might sound like a lot of money to some of you, but those of you that spend that much on guitars normally, that's probably not a crazy, that's probably actually very surprising for a custom shop guitar like a Kiesel. Now, the thing that I could say about this guitar coming in at that $1,600 price range is you do get a lot, but some of the things that you get and like where the real value is, in my experience, just right now playing this guitar, is in the craftsmanship itself. I think the craftsmanship is just like above and beyond a lot of other guitars. And this is not untrue of the last Kiesel that I played as well. Now, the thing about Kiesel guitars that might rub you the wrong way or might rub you the right way, and I don't need to explain that to you, it's something that you can figure out on your own, it's just the aesthetic. You know, I would call the aesthetic of Kiesel guitars very eccentric. Maybe you like very traditional design, which I would not call Kiesel guitars traditional designs, you know? They're a very specific thing. But you don't need my opinion on that. Like, you can look at it and decide for yourself whether you vibe with it or not. That out of the equation, what I can tell you about this guitar is, you know, it plays incredible. Take that with a grain of salt. They did send me this guitar. They did set it up to my specifications. But again, I just think that like for a custom shop guitar, that's probably the expectation. You know what I mean? You know, one thing I did not test, let's actually do that. I was just thinking about this while I was looking it over. You know, the strap buttons are an interesting location because we have a strap button here and then up here versus like having a strap button down here on the butt of the guitar. I do actually want to hang this from a strap and see how it hangs, you know, off my body. Okay, so we don't have any neck dive or anything. I am playing with a big strap, so keep that in mind, but very, very comfortable hanging as well. This guitar is just really extremely ergonomic and comfortable all over the place. You know, from all of the bevels, here we have like the belly cut, this cutaway that's right here that's actually very comfortable if you're just sitting like this. You know, just, I don't know. It feels very natural like that. All right, shout out to Kiesel for sponsoring this video. Shout out to you for being here with me. Let's go out playing a song, yeah?